Good morning, fellow aviators. It's been a month since my engine was removed and spirited away to Heavenbound Aviation, the Aeroprakt U.S. distributor, for further analysis. If you're just tuning into this saga, I'll put a link to part 1 and 2 in the description. After being in the shop for less than a week, I got an update. The good news was that after splitting open the case, they did not find anything bad. The bad news was, after splitting open the case, they didn't find anything. Well, that's not entirely true. One of the plugs had the ground tabs missing. Not a great thing to have happen, and not a great advertisement for the Rotax brand of spark plugs. However, those little bits of metal would have been drawn out of the cylinder and shot out of the exhaust. They could not be responsible for the amount of metal we found in the filter and for the damage to the oil pump and regulator. So the engine was put back together and shipped to Advanced Powerplant Solutions in Burlington, Wisconsin. Well, most of it was, as I'll explain in a bit. A week after the engine was removed, Heavenbound came by to download logs from the engine control unit that was still on the plane. APS had requested the logs. I'm assuming that the Rotax logs are more complete since they are generated by the computers that run the engine. If anyone has any additional knowledge about that, please feel free to comment. After the engine block was at APS for a week or so, I decided to call them up. They hooked me right up to Russ, the technician that was working on the problem. I'm going to stop right here and say that for all the horror stories I've heard about planes and engines sitting in shops for months, the one positive thing about all this was how fast both Heavenbound and Advanced Powerplant Systems got to work on this. That was definitely appreciated. Russ from APS got me up to speed. They had not yet split the case, choosing to bore scope the engine block and cylinders first. Apparently, my engine's condition was quote-unquote a real mystery. And remember, this is coming from a well-known and respected regional Rotax service center. I almost felt honored. He had Heavenbound ship the rest of the parts, hoping that it would give him a clue. That's where we left it a couple of weeks ago. Just yesterday, I received another update. Unfortunately, still a mystery. So much so that Rotax Corporate is now involved. APS has sent all the data they have on my engine to Austria. And that is where we stand. The folks at the Rotax factory are now pondering my engine woes over their schnitzel and beer. I'd rather be told that I was the cause of the problem. That something I did caused this. I can fix that, and I can fly with confidence knowing that the problem is truly solved. However, if a solid cause cannot be found, that lowers my confidence in my engine. How can I fly at low altitudes and do off-airport operations if I'm flying behind an engine that failed for an unknown reason? Unknown even to the factory that designed and built it. It's kind of creepy, but just before I called for this last update, I watched a video that discussed the heat shield issue on the Artemis II spacecraft. One of the two retired NASA astronauts who were invited to review NASA's attempts to mitigate the issue stated publicly that he would not fly on the upcoming Artemis II mission because there is not enough data to show that NASA truly understands the problem. And now I find out that some really thorough and smart people can't figure out why my engine ground up some metal. The difference here is Russ at APS said very specifically that he does not want to just button up the engine and send it back without knowing what the cause was. I totally agree. I should get an answer later on in February. I will keep you posted. As always, happy landings.